The next thing that we're asked to do in chapter 22 is to calculate a percentage of a number. There are two ways that we can find the percentage of a number, but both ways we will change the percentage to either a fraction or a decimal. So the first way is to change the percentage to a fraction. For example, find 75% of 60. Percent means per 100. You can see the 1 and the 2 zeros in the sign that comes after the 75. So we know that 75% is the same as 75 over 100. And that cancels down further to 3/4. So we know that finding 75% is the same as finding 3/4. We want to find 3/4 of 60. Well, we know 60 is the whole number, so that's 4/4. We can find 1/4 by dividing by 4. So 60 divided by 4, that will give us 15. And when we know what 1/4 is, we can easily get 3 of them by multiplying by 3. So 15 multiplied by 3 is 45. So 3/4 of 60 is 45. That's how we find 75% by changing it to a fraction. The second way that we can find 75% is to change 75% to a decimal. Again, 75% is 75 out of 100, 75 hundredths. At 75 hundredths, we know the decimal there is 0.75. Remember from the earlier video, if we want to find 0.75 of 60, of means multiply, we write down our 60, we write down our 0.75, and we multiply. 5 zeros is 0, 5 sixes is 30. Starting the second line, we put down a 0. 7 zeros is 0, 6 sevens is 42. We're not going to multiply by the 0, we would only get a line of zeros. We draw the line, we add them together. 2 zeros, 0 and 0, 3 and 2 is 5, and 4. We're not finished because we had a decimal point in the sum, so we're going to use the ring rule. Are there any numbers after the decimal point in the top line? No, that's 60. Are there any numbers after the decimal point in the second line? There are 2. The 5 and the 7 both come after the decimal point. So we have 2 circles in our sum. We must have 2 circles in our answer, and that gives us a decimal point after the 5, which means our answer is 45, which was the same answer we got when we did it with the fraction. So there are 2 ways of finding 75% of 60. In one, we change the 75% to 3/4 and we work it out as a fraction. In the other, we change 75% to 0.75 and we work it out by multiplying. In your book, number 2 is asking you to find the fraction method and the decimal method. In A, you'll use the fraction method. In B, you'll use the decimal method. In number 3, you can use whichever method you find the easiest. And the same for number 4.